Greetings everybody out there in the internet world, and welcome to another Dark Avenger comic book review. And don't you guys think I forgot about the comic community and the YouTube community as well.
Hey guys.
Mike's here, he's got a book this week, and the countdown is officially 49 more episodes until 200.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. We're starting from 40, well we started from 50 and we're going to actually count down 50 weeks. But yes, we are. We have a washboard. We'll wash this off, make a new background and everything next week, and put the number 48. So 49 more until 200, and that's going to be
good.
That's going to be big.
Really big.
This week they announced the end of Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The end of an era. And you know, it's amazing. No comic book has made it to 1,000. Action Comics is 100 issues away from making it to 1,000, as well as now Spider-Man in December would only be a mere 300 away.
I know.
And with the way things were going, you know, it only took about a year for them to make it to 100. So figure, twice a month. You have twice a month. You have 12 months in a year. That's 24 books per year.
Right.
300 more issues to go. It would have only taken approximately another 5 years.
I guess Marvel didn't want to do that. I don't know why. I mean.
And some months you get it 3 times because it's every other week. So
True, yeah.
really it would be like 25, 26.
You don't think they're gonna start doing that, do you?
Some books are gonna get doubled up a month.
No, like do that. Like come out like usually each week.
No, they only did that for Brand New Day, and that only pushed them up like, I forgot. But it was very.
I'm just hoping Marvel doesn't do that.
Nonsense. They're the only books that they bring out once a day, like once a week, are like the miniseries that are for like a whole month. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Avengers versus the Marvel Universe, which is coming out I believe in November, and next month Avengers versus X-Men Consequences is going to be 5 parts, 5 weeks, and that's going to be interesting. I know a lot of people said, you know, they keep doing it because people buy it. And yes, I'm buying it, but there's a reason why I'm buying it. Now, I didn't really buy The Fearless. I tried it out and didn't like it. The reason I'm buying Consequences is because it's going to be the funeral, it's going to be the aftermath, it's going to be Cyclops getting arrested, I believe. So it's going to be good.
It's going to be something to look forward to reading.
It's not going to be amazing, but for me it's going to be...
It's going to be like the aftermath of what happened, and you want to know what happened.
Yeah, I want to read it. So anyway, the books we're talking about this week came out the second to last week of September.
19th.
September 19th. Thank you. I was about to say, what was last Wednesday?
Because it was the 12th after 9/11.
Right.
Yeah.
September 19th, 2012. And we have one more week for September. And then we're going into October.
The trilogy holidays.
And they actually waited an extra week. Avengers vs. X-Men 12 isn't coming out till the first week of October.
Well, that's a little helicopter.
What did you do?
Nothing. I didn't do it, I swear. Let's get into comic books. September 19, 2012. Go.
I swear if you did anything, I swear if you did
I mean,
anything.
I may have...
Ghostbusters number 13 with an amazing cover. I love photographs of sharks. When I was a kid, I loved to study sharks. I have several credits in college in animal science. I love animals, but sharks were always the most interesting thing for me when I was a kid. I absolutely adored watching programs about sharks, and yeah, you guys, Shark Week.
See, great minds
got the
think alike.
DVD sets. So, the issue actually starts off like that. I can't believe.
What? What is that?
That's the promotion for My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic.
Ooh, I'm not going to even get into it.
The first page was awesome. Ghostbusters versus the Ghost Shark. And at the moment they're in Chicago, Illinois on the way home. Home being New York. A few pages later they actually make it home. And I love the beginning where Pete's like, finally we're home. And some other guy says, hey, are you? You know, I'm not going to, it's bleeped out there too. And Pete says, same to your mother, sir, and you can tell her that when you bring that back, when you bring her back those biker shorts you borrowed, man, it's good to be home. So we come back, Janine and her boyfriend, the doctor, what's his name?
Jeez. I guess you call him Dr. Sir?
Doctor person.
Yeah.
He's a professor of literature at CCNY.
Oh, wow.
Why is his name, like, completely slipping my mind? She mentioned it later on.
Well, he looks like an interesting character. I will
Yeah.
admit that much.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to stay looking for his name. Anyway, there is a reference
Oh, is that?
to Ghostbusters 2. No. You remember Ghostbusters 2? The guy that was possessed by Vigo?
Oh, it's Vigo, yeah. Wow, when did he have a mustache?
He grew a mustache.
And a beard, too?
Yep. And here's your splash page. There's your picture. They actually now referenced Ghostbusters 2. So they actually had a reference to the second movie in this book. I can't pronounce his last name. Do you remember how to say his name?
Dr.
Foa.
Foa.
I'm going to call him Dr. Foa. I can't. His name is Janos. Remember Janos?
Janos.
Yeah, so he painted this picture with Ray as in the Last Supper, and it's all of Ray, and he's like, he embraced me, you know, after the whole Vigo thing, and it was funny how they had a reference for the from the second movie, and I have a feeling it's going to connect into a future story arc. So the main point of this then goes in towards the end, where a ghost, Janine's on a date, like I said, and a ghost shows up at the theater where the show's going on, and out of nowhere, Janine calls the Ghostbusters. But before the Ghostbusters could actually get there, we get a new team. The new team that's going to be taking over the Ghostbusters spot. And you don't get their name at first. All you get is the guy's name. And he's like, my name is Ron Alexander. And instead of capturing the ghost, they eliminate the ghost.
They could do that?
They did with a gun. It's like a special Spectre gun thing.
Wow, who knew a gun would do that?
And then the ending was the best. They show up. The Ghostbusters finally show up, and the guy's just standing there saying, you know what? We're done here. We got rid of it. People are going to be like, in other words, they're going to be calling us because what are they going to want? The ghost trapped or eliminated? And they're like, you're old news.
Oh.
And that's how they left it. And they're like, got places to be. See you in the funny pages to be continued. And I like what Egon was saying, because it's definitely going to play into the future. You can't destroy things, because energy can't be destroyed, and then the guy interrupts him before he can finish. So, apparently all the ghosts that these people are destroying are somehow going to start coming back. Like, it's going to come back to bite them in the butt, I think, in the end.
Because you can't really destroy them. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm. I love Ghostbusters. Guys, you could jump on here. The Haunted America's over. I'd say give Ghostbusters a try. Issue 13. Really love it. I love the cover. I'm glad there's no cover A and B. There's just one cover. Check it out. Really awesome book. Finally, from the indies this week, Image Comics, Walking Dead 102. It feels like forever since I actually read Walking Dead. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so they've got one of Negan's men captured, and it's the person that killed Abraham. Thank you, God, for Mike Spider Slayer's reviews, where I know a lot of this from. Thank you, Mike. Love you, bro. So anyway, Rick is very, he's being very, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Andrea's beating the guy up, wanting answers, and he's like, no, we gotta stop. We can't do this. Not here, not now. We need to chill out. We got to back up. He's taking a step back. Instead of attacking the guy or attacking Negan, so to speak, or forming a plan to attack Negan, he's like, we really got to step back. He tells Andrea that he killed Glenn. And Andrea's like, so what do you say? He's like, I don't know. We need to step back. I'm open to suggestions, though. And then Carl actually asks him later on, you're going to kill that guy, right? I mean, show Negan that we're not to be effed with. I don't want to, you know, there's a lot of curse words in comics nowadays. And he's like, I don't know, Carl. I don't know. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm just mad about Glenn. And then later on, we have a scene with Rick and Andrea, and Rick is actually blaming himself for what happened to Glenn. And I hope I'm not spoiling this for anybody. It's 2 issues away. It's 2 issues past where Glenn died. By now, I'm sure everybody knows. And Andrea's like, you've saved us all. What do you mean? You can't blame yourself for a person's death. And he does. And he also goes to, he's talking to everybody. He just wants everybody to relax. He wants everybody to just, chill out and relax. No attacking Negan, no anything. He just wants everybody to relax and just, he wants to just try to get things to, like, stop. He wants everybody to just exist and, move forward. And there's mention of the governor here. Actually, in the end, I'm spoiling a little bit here. He holds a town meeting, and he actually tells everybody, we have to do this. We have to release the guy. And the guy actually leaves, and he's got like that smug look. Mike, you're right. He had that smug look on his face, like, I got one up on all of you. And everybody's mad at Rick. However, the last page is where Rick actually reveals what he's really planning on doing. And it's just him and Jesus. Him and Jesus are the two that are actually planning this out. And what is it? You guys are going to have to read
the issue. Right?
His name is really Jesus.
It is?
It's Jesus.
I thought it was Jesus.
I read a back issue.
And it was Jesus.
It was Jesus, yeah. Wow. Because he looks like Jesus, apparently. So,
really?
Yeah. Hey, wait, is that an advertisement for what I think it is? Your Comic-Con.
Ah,
excited.
Yes.
So if you want to know what happened in the last page, you can do one of two things. You can go check this book out, which I highly recommend, or you can go to Mike Spiderslayer's channel where he in-depthly reviews this book. I like to leave a little bit sometimes for people to read into, and this is leading into the next story arc. Whereas with Ghostbusters, it's an awesome story, and even though I've told you a lot of what's gone on, I did leave out other stuff in the middle instead that you guys really would be interested in checking out. So sometimes I don't spoil the ending, sometimes I don't tell you guys what happens in the middle, so it leaves that flavor, like you guys don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to leave out the end, or am I going to leave out the middle? And what you hear from the ending or the middle is what makes you want or not want to pick up a book. Right? Wrong? In between? Possibly? Maybe? We don't know. We just do this because we love reviewing books.
Yep.
And now we go into Before Watchmen, Night Owl's number 3. And I'm at that little point here where every single Watchmen book, it's like a trend now.
A trend?
Nudity.
Oh, no, not Night Owl.
Every single book thus far has had at least one panel where there's sex, or there's, pardon me here, boobs.
Okay, that's nothing to laugh at when you use that, but I'm like, what? Okay, seriously, they're ODing on, wow.
Sex or boobs in every single Watchmen book.
Or giggity.
Looking over that, Night Owl is on the case to try to find the missing women, the missing women of the night, so to speak. The ones, and more people are going missing. He tries to work with the woman from the last issue, whose name completely skips my mind of I know what her real name is, but anyway. Then it goes back to Rorschach, where he's working in a church with a reverend, and Night Owl is looking for answers. He questions this guy in the most unorthodox way.
Yeah, really.
And he gets a little bit of leeway, and that's when the sex comes in. And then it goes back to Night Owl actually reading Hollis's book. He actually finds Hollis's book. And then it turns out the Reverend isn't as holy as thou. And Rorschach shows up at the very end. Like, he actually puts on the costume. And the Reverend finds out Rorschach's real identity. Yeah. Let's just say it's a good cliffhanger for the last part of Night Owl. I would highly recommend a lot of the Before Watchmen books, but I have to say now, these are definitely not for little kids to read. But then again, if you really look at the dynamics of who reads comic books now, it's between the ages of, what, 16, maybe 15, I'd say there's the youngest. There is the margin that does break, the mold, where there are kids younger reading comic books, but the marginal reader and collector is around the ages of 15 to 20, and then they keep going up, and then it keeps going up. But very rarely do you see a person between the ages of 10 and 14 reading a comic book.
Well,
it's a very
as
tiny
generations
margin.
Continue, I wouldn't be too surprised if that actually,
I don't know, but it's a very small margin of kids that actually, I would say, read comic books. This is more for the teenage. So really, I don't understand why we even have. I guess the ratings are for if a parent brings a child into a comic store, but still, it's like, what? Now we're gonna have adult comics and teenage comics? That's kind of stupid because this is rated M and this is rated T for teen. So that's just dumb. So between the teens and the matures, okay. So let's get into the teen book, Batman Beyond Unlimited number 8. We have several stories in this book that is digital first. I did not know that until recently, reading when we were doing the rundown. First part is this time Batman Beyond, where Batman, Bruce Wayne, is in the hospital. He's suffering from liver failure. He's been trying to get a liver for years. He hasn't gotten it yet. And then there's trouble. And Terry jumps into Batman Beyond mode and meets up with the Vigilante, whom we saw in an earlier issue. And here's some artwork of him in his suit. Really nice cover, but very misleading. So it turns out people working with the Joker King are all over Gotham City blowing themselves up. Stick with me, please. They're blowing themselves up. And Terry's trying to find answers. He calls his friend, darn it.
I might have just done it. Oh, wait.
I don't know.
No.
Anyway, and she gets captured by people that work with the Joker King, apparently. Nightwing makes a tiny, itty-bitty appearance. I don't know if he'll make an appearance in the future. And then it turns out there's a mob of Catwoman to be continued. We then jump into... Yeah, I don't care. Then we jump into the story I'm interested in, and that's the Superman Beyond story. Lex Luthor has this big robot that his daughter... he activates, but his daughter's inside. One of the buildings turns into a huge robot, and it's up to Gotham's finest to take him out because Superman has to stay at the Fortress of Solitude due to the fact that kryptonite is in the atmosphere, and if he leaves, he's going to... start to die. He's gonna,
so
he's
that's
gonna lose
why
power.
Superman's not in action.
I love this page where he's in the fortress and he decides to go into. He decides to take matters into his own hands, and there's a way he can guard himself against the kryptonite, at least mostly, and it's called the. It's a protective augmentation. The Eradicator protocol is activated, and that's where it's to be continued.
That's the new Eradicator?
No, that's Superman inside the suit.
Oh,
which
that
was
looks
interesting.
Cool.
And then we go into the Justice League Beyond, where they're putting together a team on Earth to stop what's to come before it happens. And basically that's it. And you get a little bit of Terry and Bruce Wayne. Bruce gives him a book and a vial of something. He's like, spread the dust around you and read the passage that I've highlighted in this book. When all is lost in Earth's final hours. And Terry's like, care to tell me what to expect? And he's like, no. And yeah. Really good book, really interesting. Loved a lot of the stories in this book. Maybe one story just didn't interest me as much as the others. The main story, I guess, doesn't interest me as much with the King Joker. It just has its moments where it's like, okay.
I really did not know Superman was not in action because of the kryptonite thing. I really never knew that.
So, the Superman story was good. The Justice League Beyond story was good, and yeah. There's only like 3 books, 3 stories.
Sometimes I kind of think that they might divide their stories. I mean, with all the stories,
well, remember,
doesn't that raise the
this
price?
is a digital first book, so they have to have 4 stories in one book.
I understand, but doesn't that raise the price up with more stories?
$3.99.
I thought more stories.
No, $3.99. It's digital first, so you could read it. I could be reading right now a part of this issue next month. So I would definitely say to check it out if you're interested. It has Superman Beyond, Batman Beyond, and Justice League Beyond for now. I don't know when the stories end, if they're going to spice it up or switch it up. I hope they keep Superman Beyond at least, but that's Batman Beyond Unlimited. Mm-hmm. Now we go into the Zero issues, which actually I enjoyed a lot this week, especially. And next week, I have a special Zero issue that nobody's going to expect me to get. And you're going to see it on the Unboxing Friday video, so be prepared for that. I don't think anybody's going to be prepared for one Zero issue I got. And then also, the following week, I'm getting the Red Lantern Zero issue because I believe it's connected to the Third Army. I did not get it for this coming Wednesday, so I'm going to have it a week late. But I am getting Red Lantern's issue 0 just because I think it's going to involve the Third Army. So I'm going to start from issue 0 instead of 13. Anyway, Nightwing issue 0. Loved it. The whole origin of Nightwing retold. And there's a new Robin costume that's introduced. I want to show that. Basically, Dick Grayson figures out that that Batman is Bruce Wayne throughout this whole ordeal, and here is your new Robin costume for the new 52. And I'm not exactly a fan of it.
Why? It looks just like the
old Robin. No, it does not.
Well,
the original Robin. No.
Like the top with the R and.
It's alright.
I mean, I'm not a fan of
it's
the green,
okay,
kinda.
And I love this splash page as well. It's really awesome. And the theme of it was everything changes. It goes from Dick Grayson working in the circus to them being being Bruce Wayne's adopted kid, to finding out that Bruce Wayne was Batman and working in the Batcave as like an oracle. He works for a computer. He works behind the scenes on the computers. To them becoming Robin, and then the very last page he mentions that Robin would be anything but permanent, and that was fine. After all, things always change. And also we get introduced to a character called Shiva, who's coming up next in Nightwing. It says, yeah, Lady Shiva, who Robin actually tries to fight against and fails way back in the day, 5 years ago. I don't understand how Robin was this big 5 years ago and then this big 5 years later.
Maybe
but
puberty
hit my ass. Anyway, next issue, Lady Shiva confronts Nightwing. So this basically is an origin story that leads into the next story arc in Nightwing. I love this issue. I really enjoyed it. I'd definitely say check it out. It was fun seeing the retelling of Nightwing's story. However, I still miss my old universe.
Yeah.
This is not an origin story, but it is an issue 0. Green Lantern New Guardians issue 0. This is leading into the rise of the Third Army. I am not spoiling the very end of this book, but somebody decides to join the the Guardians of the Universe and taking out all the lanterns.
Ooh. What?
Anyway, so it's all about Carol and Kyle in this video. In this video, this
Very
is a
good.
video. In this issue, Kyle goes to Carol looking for Hal Jordan because of what's going on in New Guardians. However, at the same time, it's taking place right after Hal Jordan and Sinestro, I'm saying disappear, they didn't die, disappear, as well as Black Hand. Kyle and Carol show up at the cemetery to finish off all the rest of the zombies, so to speak. The artwork is awesome. There's this one page I want to show where Kyle actually channels a little bit of the blue spectrum. Look at this splash page, people. Come on. It's really awesomely colorful.
Oh,
and he obliterates all of the zombies, and it's a little bit of catch-up. You play catch-up in this book. Kyle actually explains everything that's been going on since New Guardians 1 all the way through to issue 12, except for the part where the New Guardians separated.
Yeah, what's with the mask? It looks kind of
bigger than usual?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Carol actually, they find out that Hal Jordan's deceased, but he's really not. And then Carol actually uses her Star Sapphire ring to go into Kyle, and she's like, you're going to have to harness all the power from all the Green Lantern Corps in order to save the person that she loves in the world, or the universe, apparently. And then it goes into the surprise last page. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, surprise splash page I was going to say. And that's up to you guys. You got to read this. The rise of the Third Army is coming, everybody. And the issue 0s for all of the Green Lantern books are leading into it. I believe... No, we did. We had Green Lantern Corps, which retold Guy Gardner's origin. We had Green Lantern, which told of Simon Baz, or however you pronounce his last name's origin. And we now have Green Lantern New Guardians, which is talking about what's happening next with the New Guardians. None of the other New Guardians show up here except for Carol, but I have a feeling by the next issue we're going to have more Guardians. More of the people on this cover show up. And we have 3 minutes, so I'm going to talk about the 2 books that I did not pick up last week. They came out last week, the week of the 12th.
Yes.
First we have Uncanny X-Men number 18, which expands on the Emma Frost and Cyclops conflict going on.
Okay.
It's basically behind the scenes. Like, they're fighting the Avengers, but in their minds, basically, they're eating dinner, so to speak. They're having dinner. And in the end, though, I loved it where Emma Frost admitted to having mind sex with Namor. And then in the end,
Whoa,
like towards the end of the book, yeah, I'm going to show that page. Towards the end of the book, he's like, a toast first. Emma, my love, we can't go on like this. And that's where he actually zaps her and takes away the Phoenix Force and becomes the Phoenix. And that leads into the last pages of AVX 11. Also, you get a little bit more into Colossus and his sister his sister. He finally sees his sister for who she really is, and yeah, they leave you off there. But I have a feeling before Uncanny X-Men ends, Colossus is going to lose the Juggernaut.
Did he lose the Juggernaut?
He didn't lose it yet. No, he's still got the Juggernaut demon in him. But I think he's going to lose it because in Cable and the X-Force, he has this. He looks like he used to with the hair and everything again.
Oh, good.
So obviously he's going to lose the Juggernaut inside of him. I think. I don't know. There's still 2 more issues to go with Uncanny X-Men.
And the cover could always be misleading.
It's very true. And finally from last week was Winter Soldier issue 10. Thank you so much to everybody who told me go back on the book, don't drop it. Ever since I posted on Twitter, Audrey said don't drop it. I got messages, Chris, you don't want to drop this yet. I'm glad I didn't drop it, but I was right. Nick Fury didn't die. Somebody else did in his stead. What's his name? Why? Stillwell. Jumped in the way of Nick Fury. Jasper Stillwell jumped in the way of Nick Fury and saved him from being killed. And basically, Bucky goes to the person that mind-wiped Black Widow, and he explains to Bucky that he erased everything. That Black Widow doesn't even remember that her and him were together. Basically, any memories of Bucky and Black Widow are now gone forever. And also, she believes that the memories that were put in the instead by Nick, oh God, what's his name? Nickel, the other sleeper agent. Basically, he made her believe that she was a double agent. She was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and then she was reactivated when Leo reactivated her. Now she's working with Leo, and now it's up to Bucky to save her. And who's going to help Bucky? None other than Captain America, Hawkeye, and Wolverine. Hawkeye and Wolverine find out that Bucky is still actually alive. And in the next book, we have Bucky having flashbacks of him and Natalia's relationship, which probably when they save Natalia, she's not gonna remember. So she and Bucky are never gonna get back together. That's what they're hinting towards, at least for now. And we get the first team up. We have Hawkeye saying, "Time to suit up, let's go." So in the next issue, which is next week, since I bought this book a week late, it's going to be Hawkeye and Bucky on the Widow hunt, to be continued. So, I'm glad I didn't drop it. I'm going to enjoy the team-ups. Next week's, as I said, is going to be with Hawkeye. The week after is going to be with Wolverine. So, I'm looking forward to what's coming for Winter Soldier. Thank you guys for telling me not to drop it. And instead, I ended up dropping Captain Marvel, which everybody actually told me to drop anyway because it's not going to get any better. That's what people were telling me anyway. So, time's up. Come back and we're going to talk about the Marvel books that came out this week, the week of the 29th. See you guys in the next part. Stay tuned.